Hi, I'm Kelly Vaughn, and welcome to Inside Indy. Giving back. We talk about giving back, but we don't always do what we say we're going to do. But we have someone in the studio today who is giving back in a very cool way, and she has her own foundation. She is Deetra Stevenson. Welcome to the show.
Thank you, Kelly. Thank you so much for having me.
And she is the CEO of Deers Inc., which is a foundation that you put together that has a lot to do with your history, your family, your core values. Tell us about the Deers Foundation.
The Deers Foundation, we've had the foundation as a family for about 3 years now. So for the first 2 years, we just kind of quietly gave to organizations that we saw throughout the community that were giving back, and we didn't make it a complicated process. We just saw people doing good things, and we wanted to be a part of it. So both in time and in talent and in finance, we decided to support those organizations, and we became a little bit more formal. Even though we are an official 501c3 organization, we decided to formalize the process a little bit more and really inspire other people to do the same thing. Particularly business owners. A lot of people think they have to get to a certain level as a person or as a corporation before they begin to give back and get involved in the community. So we really wanted to inspire other individuals and companies to give back. So this is our first year that we're actually doing fundraisers and doing different events to bring some notoriety to organizations that have been doing things for years quietly under the radar. And so we're excited about not just raising the money, but also raising the awareness for the different charities.
Wow. I think it's interesting what you're saying in terms of giving back, and I think people do wait until they think they've arrived or they have X amount of dollars, because as soon as you started talking, the first thing that popped in my head is, oh, she must be wealthy and she's giving away her wealth. Yeah. Or she must have this big corporation, or I'm sure that's what people typically, because oftentimes it is people, the Bill Mazes and people like that. But it's really everybody's responsibility to do that. Why not take the kind of initiative that you have taken?
Right.
To do
well,
that?
First and foremost, I received that. So, so let's say that I'm wealthy, but I appreciate that. But what's really, I think, one of the things I love about my family is our history. My family is from Mississippi, and they literally grew up picking cotton. So we did not come from generations of wealth. No one in our family has been born, including myself and the generation behind me. We're not born with silver spoons. So we're just people that go to work every day. My parents have traditional jobs. My father's deceased now, but everyone just works regular jobs. But we just decided to pool our money and our resources together and again try to inspire other people to give back. And you don't have to be a multimillionaire to do that. You can give in time sometimes, you can give in talent sometimes, and some things it does take real money. So when you're in a position to have some disposable income or make some sacrifices to have some disposable income to help people that are less fortunate in all kinds of areas, whether it's education, health, benevolence, just the basic necessities of life, then I do believe we all owe that back, and we owe it. It's not a debt that we pay in the future. It's a debt we should pay daily. So,
you mentioned your father, and your mom's here in the studio with us. So tell us about Mom, because obviously that has a lot to do with your thinking, who you are, and why you do what you do.
Yes, my mother is a tremendous inspiration to me, and our family selected 4 categories that we give to. One is education, one is health and wellness, benevolence, and then small business development. My mother, one of the reasons she inspires me is because she is 20 years consecutive running in the mini marathon, and my mother, I'm not sure if she didn't give me permission to tell her age, so I won't tell her age, but my grandmother is 95, so I'll let you all do the math and give you an idea of where our family lies and age-wise. But I'm really proud of her because she does a lot of things. She's a nurse by profession, and so she's already in that industry as a profession, but she does a lot of unique things like taking the stairs every day at work, hosting different events as far as encouraging people to lose weight and to eat healthy and to not smoke and things like that. So she's been doing these things for she's been a Methodist for almost 30 years. So she's been doing these things for a really long time. Again, quiet, under the radar. And so we just wanted to bring some of the things that the family members are doing out in the open, not to be seen, but to inspire other people to kind of grab a hold of those initiatives and just make the community, large or small, just make it a better place.
Okay. Now I know you have a one fundraiser coming up.
Yes, we do.
Very quickly. Tell us about that.
We have Casino Night, and it is our very first fundraiser that I am super excited about. And Casino Night is just that. We have crap tables, poker games, blackjack, all the normal all of the normal casino games that you can imagine. And it's just a good time. It's a good time of fellowship, and it's a great opportunity. We're really reaching out. Everyone is welcome, but we're really reaching out to a lot of small business owners because we also want it to be a great networking opportunity. We're reaching out to a lot of nonprofits, and we're saying, hey, come and fellowship together, because sometimes once you've played with someone for 5 minutes, 2 minutes, the relationship is just a little bit different. So we want those business owners and nonprofits in the same room, laughing, playing, having a good time, and then doing a little business and figuring out how we can help each other.
Yeah,
So,
I've heard some of the big wigs in the corporations say most of the business happens out on the golf course
yeah.
and not necessarily in the boardroom.
Exactly.
So,
So I don't know how to play golf, but I am a good crap player.
Okay.
So we'll make some deals over the crap table.
Okay, so can people go to your website to find out about the Deers Foundation, but also about the event?
Yes, absolutely. It's deersfoundation.com. They can visit there and see all of our events for 2017.
Okay, and just very quickly, because we're almost out of time, give us an example of somebody you'd like to help in the future. Once you raise all the funds, are there particular groups you're targeting, or whether you want to be general about it or specific?
We do have certain areas that I mentioned that each one of us in the family targeted, and each one of us has our own passion area. I honestly am passionate about each and every one of them, but probably the two that I am most passionate about is benevolence. A lot of churches traditionally help in the area of benevolence because I just don't believe people should have to do without the basic necessities of life. And then the second one is, of course, small business development, things that we can do to encourage people to be entrepreneurs.
Well, you're inspiring me to give. I was thinking about the Center for Leadership Development, and they had a big fundraiser. They had their big awards dinner, and I thought, why don't I just set something up where $5, $20, $30 comes out of your account every month?
Exactly.
And if everybody did that, they'd have nothing to worry about.
They'd have nothing to worry about.
So, well, we appreciate you coming on, and we appreciate you giving back.
Thank you.
And
Thank you
teaching
so
us
much.
how to do the same.
Thank you.
All right.
Thank you.
Deetra Stevenson of the Deers Foundation, thanks so much for joining us.
Thank you, Kelly.
On Inside Indy. And when we come back, we're going to Carmel for the Arts Council next. And we're back, and I know you think you're watching the Shopping Network, but that's not what we are.
No, much better, much better.
We are with Meg Osborne with Meg and Associates, and she's also on the board for Carmel Arts Board.
Council, right.
Council.
Yeah.
And she is here to tell us about Carmel Arts Council and a very cool event that they have coming up, which, let's get to that first even. We can hit it a couple of times, actually.
Yeah, Art and Bloom.
Art and Bloom.
Art and Bloom. It's April 20th.
Okay.
It's at the Ritz Charles, and it's from 11 to 2, and it's a fundraiser to help us raise money for scholarships for the Carmel Arts Councils, because we provide scholarships for local high school students that are going into college with art, both visual, music, dance, the whole gamut.
Nice,
We've been around about 20 years in Carmel. We've kind of been a root effort. We kind of see teaching the community about art from the ground up. We have a gallery, the Children's Gallery. It's the smallest gallery in downtown on Main Street. And in the front part during the winter, every month is a different school. and they come in and the art teachers do a curriculum and they post arts. They have themes. So all the kindergartners, first graders, second grade, all their art is on display.
Nice.
Yeah,
okay.
it's really cool to watch them come in. Their eyes are real big and like, Mommy, look, that
That's
one's
my stuff,
mine.
yeah.
And they take pictures, and family pictures. And then in the back room, we have middle school and high school art. And then we always have our scholarship winners on display for the previous year.
Nice.
And then we'll have different events that come through, like our sister city in China. We'll have display of their art, or if we have an art contest,
So you
the
do some
winners
kind of
that.
exchange with China? Nice.
And they send us art, and we send art over there. And theirs is on display, and ours is on display over in China.
I love it. Okay. So now, is the artwork that is on display, is it available for purchase?
Some is, but not much. Most of them are the parents, take them home and put them and frame them and, everything. But the
Because sometimes you see something,
right.
you go, that's pretty darn good.
right, and we can access that, but most people want to keep it. Now, the Great Frame Up, when we have a contest, we have a spring and a fall contest, and kids will make things, and we pick winners. And the Great Frame Up in downtown Carmel will frame it all for free as part of the awards. So all the winners display, like at the Art and Bloom, the winners of the spring contest will be on display at our Art and Bloom, so everybody can see it, the community can see the event. And so Art and Bloom, Jamie McComas came up with the idea. And basically what we're going to do on the 20th is we're matching artists. Like this piece was done by Deb Slack in Carmel. And it will match an art floral piece done by Oberers. So we're matching different florists with different artists. And they're going to interact and paint and then also design floral pieces.
Nice.
And
okay.
the Oberers will be on stage and they'll do an actual floral presentation during the luncheon. And then there'll be an artist who will be standing there painting while it is.
okay.
It's really fun to watch. We did one the other day, and Deb Slack actually did it with Bree from Oberers, and it was fabulous. And it's an interpretation. It's not always exactly. It's their vision, their interpretation, their inspiration of what that is. So, and then we have wonderful auction items
stuff here that we can
bid
on.
Yeah, you can bid on. I went to an event the other night that said it was a media event. If you have children and dogs, everybody loves it. So I brought Canine Cloud downtown Main Street donated a dog basket.
Oh, nice, nice.
Somebody donated.
Let me do my Vanna White
yes,
thing here.
Hold it
Wait.
up. And we're really appreciative of that and having, their fun stuff. And then I know that Frisbee, my two Goldens, would have devoured in probably 5 minutes or less.
Okay.
Then we have a book basket for kids that grandmas are, can bid on and take home. And
Nice.
then an athletic, meet me at the bar is the Cycle Bar Traders Point, which is over by your house.
That's right.
On
Woo, Traders
86th
Point.
Street. And they're giving a $300 gift certificate for a party for 48 people. So if you purchase that, you can redeem it and invite 48 your best friends and go
Wow.
cycle for 50 minutes, get in
Nice.
shape, have fun. It's a neat, so that's
Good
Cycle Bar.
items.
Yeah,
Good items.
Plus there's probably another 15 or 20 more.
Okay. Okay, so then let's go over the details again of the Art in Bloom.
Art in Bloom. It is April 20th at the Ritz Charles, 11 to 2. You can buy tickets. Go to the website, www.carmelartscouncil.org, and that will lead you right into Eventbrite, and you can buy your tickets. We, of course, have sponsor tables and everything available, and the whole goal of the event is obviously to raise money and awareness for art, the therapy of art, the presence of art, and then helping kids expand their horizons and their visions through art.
Yeah, and there's I wouldn't say so many, but there are some people who don't think that the arts are important.
Yes.
What is that about?
Okay, I'm a swim coach, as you well know. Spent many years in chlorine in a pool, and I have a 23-year-old art student at Heron School of Art that is the most fascinating young man, crazy, long hair, man bun, all that. But just what he sees, and I have learned so much about art. And I was kind of tunnel vision to sports and athletics, and my world has expanded the last 4 or 5 years through him and watching him and how he sees life and how he sees the world and the therapy behind it and everything it gives him. So coming from somebody who didn't really have a lot of exposure in that area, it has been an incredible experience. I just really think most people need to just expand their horizons.
Okay, and open their minds.
Right.
So, okay, so we're looking forward to Art in Bloom, and so people go and bid on some things, and then enjoy the various works of art.
Right.
And the floral arrangements and all that good stuff. It just sounds like a day of fun and just a good way to bring, spring into full bloom.
Right, that was
so to
kind of
speak.
the idea, just
Yeah.
the flowers and smell. You should have smelled the other day. Bree had a table full of flowers, and she was and the whole room just smelled wonderful.
Very nice, very nice. Well, we appreciate you coming in.
Well, thank you.
Phone number, website again, if people want to know more about Art in Bloom.
Oh, www.carmelartscouncil.org, or they can call on my phone, 317-590-7522, if they want more information.
Okay. Meg Osborne.
Thank
We
you.
appreciate you coming by.
Thanks,
Good friend.
Golly.
We go way back. Thanks for
Way
joining
back.
us on Inside Indy. And we'll be back after this. And we're back. And I'm wondering, have you ever been a victim of a scam? Maybe you probably don't want to admit it. You wouldn't admit it anyway, right? But we have someone here in the studio with us who can tell us about avoiding a scam so you're not a victim, and what we need to look for now and in the future, and some interesting statistics on people who have been scammed in the year 2016. He is Tim Maniscalco, and he is president of the Better Business Bureau serving Central Indiana. Welcome to the show.
Thank you. Thank you.
Right.
Appreciate being here.
Over 32,000 scam reports in 2016?
Yeah, what this was is this was actually BBB's scam tracker. And what
Okay.
that was is, I think it was in the fall of 2015, BBB across the entire organization, so across the United States and Canada, introduced an internet-based tool called Scam Tracker.
Okay.
And the way that works is if you go on our website, bbb.org/Indy, you'll see a Scam Tracker button. Click on that and a map will come up. You can scroll down and you'll see all these little dots on there. Those are where people have reported scams. So you can click on that, or you can go below and you can actually read what scams have been reported. And these are scams that have either actually, people have lost money or attempted to be scammed. So it doesn't have to be a successful scam.
Okay.
So it's a great way for consumers to go on and see what's happening in their area. And it gets fairly granular. You know, you can scroll down and you can see Hamilton County or really, any town, any part of the state you want to see.
Okay.
So it's a great tool that way. And if you have been scammed, there's a little button on there that says report a scam. So you click on that and there's a little form you fill out. So what we're trying to get people to do is number one, go to Scam Tracker, see what's going on in your area so
Okay.
you are educated and you don't fall for these scams. Number two, if you've been scammed or attempted to be scammed, it doesn't have to be a successful scam, please report that to us because we want people to know what's going on so that we have a scam-free area if we ever can do anything like that.
That'd be
So
nice.
that's really what Scam Tracker is about. It's a way to educate the public and allow the public to educate each other about
Okay.
scams that are going on.
Okay, so who have you found in your research is most likely to be scammed?
Now, this is really interesting. What BBB did is they took about 32,000 scams that were reported across the system in 2016 and did some research on that. And to answer your question, interestingly enough, it's millennials who are more vulnerable
Really?
of
You
being
wouldn't
scammed.
think. Yeah.
You wouldn't think that, and here's why that is. Most of the scams today come somehow via the internet, email, social media, something like that. Millennials are very accustomed to working and giving information on the internet. They trust the internet, therefore they're not nearly as skeptical of things
Or
that
cautious,
that come
right,
across
okay.
the internet. Scammers know that. So interestingly enough,
Wow.
the millennials are actually more susceptible to being scammed. We always think it's, you know,
The elderly,
the elderly.
yeah.
They do get scammed, but not as often
Okay.
as millennials. It's kind of interesting as you look at the age groups. Millennials are clearly the ones who get the most, and it goes down, down, down until the elderly. They actually have the least incidence of getting scammed.
Okay. Okay.
But
Wow.
but now the opposite is true. If you look at the amount of money people lose, even though the elderly don't get scammed as much, they actually lose more each time they do get scammed. And one of the reasons
Okay.
for that is they get a lot of these home improvement. Someone comes knocking on your door, particularly let's say you've had a storm and you've got hail damage on your roof or your siding or something like that. Those tend to be high ticket items,
Right.
and people they don't lose money often, but those tend to be higher ticket items. So
Okay.
those people tend to lose more money.
Oh.
So it's kind of interesting.
So what is the top scam right now? I don't mean that in a positive sense. What's the top scam?
Well, the one that we get the most calls on is the IRS scam, and that was the one where someone calls you and says, "Hey, we're the IRS, and you owe us money." That's the one that we got the most reports on. The good thing about that is very few people actually lost money on that. There was only about 1% of the people actually fell for that. So even though it was the top reported one, it wasn't the one where people lost the most money on.
Why did they think that was going to work? Because most people don't want to pay the government.
Right,
They don't
right.
give Uncle Sam what he's due. So why would I give? They needed to pick something else. That was kind of a stupid scam. But
Right. So, well, and that was all coming out of India. There was a huge call center in India. They actually
Wow.
raided at the end of 2016 that were making the calls. Yeah, and it was kind of interesting. Within about a week after that raid, the calls really took a decrease. So they found where that was coming from. Home improvement scams, home repair scams, those tend to be big ones. Fake employment scams, those tend to be also ones that people fall for a lot. So those are ones that people will get caught on.
Now, the home improvement scam, is it just that they get started and they don't finish? Or
Yeah, a lot of that is you've got what we call storm chasers. Once again, big hailstorm comes through, lots of damage to a roof or your siding or other parts of your house. And these storm chasers will come into the neighborhood, knock on the door, offer you a great price. And if you think about it, you know, if you've just had your roof damaged, there may be some leaking in the house, you're very emotional. You want to get that fixed quick. A guy's right there at the door. You say, "Hey, great, I'm going to get this fixed, and it's not going to cost me that much."
So
you fall for that, and they ask for money up front, and then you never hear from them again. Yeah, once you pay them money, you know, you can sign all the contracts you want in the world, and they may have a contract for you to sign, but if they're nowhere to be found,
so we do what? Get the work done, you get the contract, have the work done, and then you pay them.
yeah, well, a couple of things. It's not unusual for some contractors to want some money up front, and that's not necessarily a bad thing to do. But check out a couple of things. Number one, easy things like, does he have the name of his company on a truck? A lot of these guys don't even have the name of the company on the truck. Do they have things like a website? Are they bonded and insured? So you want to check those things out. Here's probably the best thing. What the scammers want to do is get you in an emotional state of mind, not a logical state of mind. So if you're making an emotional decision, check yourself and say, wait a minute, I need to do some homework before I pull the trigger.
Good, just step away and say, let me think about this. I got to go talk to my spouse.
Exactly.
That's the one you can always do.
And if you're going to do a home improvement, we always say, try to get at least 3 bids.
Okay, very quickly, we've got 30 seconds. Men versus women. Who's
Oh, this is a good one. Well, they both fall for scams at about the same rate, but men actually lose about $100 more per scam than women.
All right, we win again. All right, Tim Maniscalco, president of the Better Business Bureau in Central Indiana. Thanks so much for enlightening us and
Thank you.
keeping us from the scam artists.
Appreciate it.
Thank you. And thank you. I'm Kelly Vaughn. This has been Inside Indy. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.